to the next stage with Patricia. And as I mentioned previously, and I won't delay any longer, Patricia is leading the governance side and the sustainability side of the platform. And I hand the floor to Patricia now. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you, Tom. Well, I'm going to give you an overview of the STAIR4SECURITY ecosystem governance and sustainability. Next slide, please. Well, you already know what this STAIR4SECURITY ecosystem is because we've been presenting you the system, but there's one part missing, which is the governance system. The governance system is dedicated to the platform as well as to the e-learning tool. So next slide, please. Again, you see exactly what this platform and this system does. We find resources, we build up resources, we interact, but we have to have this regulated, animated, sustained. So this is what I'm going to present now. Next slide, please. You remember the features that we have? We just saw the search and discovery. We need to do something to keep this living and feed it. The network mechanism, we have to manage this, as well as the engagement and consultation channel. This cannot be just put in the hand of the people with no monitoring, no supervising, no funding. So this is what this presentation is all about. So next slide, please. Again, the e-learning tool, you have understood yesterday that it does lots of things that even just the e-learning tool solves some problems of the users, not even who don't even have to go on the platform sometimes, but it's pretty much tuned and designed on what's going on the platform and has to say. So we also address what's going on in the e-learning tool, and we keep on developing and managing what's going on in the e-learning tool. So next slide, please. So let's talk about the governance management and sustainability of the ecosystem. So the ecosystem needs structures, it needs processes and data strategy and management activities to ensure the sustained operations and the use of the platform. These tasks require governance structures and mechanisms. I'm going to explain all these. Developments and data of a data strategy and the sustainability of the operations of the platform beyond the project lifetime. So next slide, please. Governance structures and mechanism are key when we are not going to be there anymore, and they aim to do lots of different very important things that I'm going to explain to you. Of course, we have to ensure the compliance with guiding STAIR4SECURITY framework. Every IT tool or system or platform has a framework. If we don't do this, it's going to be a mess very quickly. We also have to ensure design and management of the platform and e-learning tool further developments. You see, the system we have here can provide lots of services. But of course, it's been developed with the input and the questions and the remarks of the users, and we will continue. We have lots of further developments to think of. First of it, well, just to correct and improve what we have, but not only this, to widen the scope. Not just to disaster resilience and CBRNE, but we of course are thinking of going much further and introduce new scopes, you know, like critical infrastructure protection or border security or fight against crime or terrorism. There are lots of things that we could adjust. We could also develop tools and strategies for the EU to have them use the data that is on the platform to help the Commission to develop the budget programming for research and innovation, because this platform is going to be a golden mine, you know, and you have to know how to use this data. We can work on this. We should manage the data strategy of the platform. It's key, as you know. What is there is very important, whether it's something that we bring from somewhere else or something that we built on the platform. We have to manage decision rights. When there's a life on a platform, there are decisions to be taken and they have to be managed. And also we have to manage the e-learning tool developments and the content of the e-learning tool accordingly to what is done on the platform. So next slide, please. So the governance structure and mechanism are, just what they are regularly, in any such system, which is the strategic level, a steering committee. For the everyday business monitoring team who would apply the rules and give the feedback from what's going on the platform, because it is going to remain a pretty much bottom-up approach developed system. This is how we do this, such things, and especially platform social network. This platform is social network, so it really has to be bottom up. But of course, we also need a platform project management. So all these three structures will work all together, but not at the same level. What's important is who is there. You understand that this platform is yours. The platform is done for the people who use it and who benefit from it. So we will need the right people there. And the governance is going to be based on business expertise. We would need people who will be able to cover the whole range of expertise that is developed on the platform. But not just people who know things, people who know what's going on in real life. So we also need market relevance. And we need also validation. The platform will not just be, looking at things, but the aim is also to produce something that is a validated outcome that we can build on. And so we can, of course, use the platform to do this. We have this consultation feature, for instance, but we can even go further. We can see with the EU the way we can validate. We can find ways to get the member states involved, so that when we have outcomes that everybody agree on, we stop asking ourselves, what should we be doing? But just we would do it. Whether it's innovation, whether it's research and putting the funding there on research issues that are the same for everybody, or moving on to standardization. Okay, next slide, please. We need a data strategy. Well, you've seen that the value of the platform is what's done on the platform, the data we find there and the people using it, and what they built. Of course, we need critical massive data, and we will. It's a never-ending process. You keep bringing in new data. There's always new data developed. There are some that we don't know about that we will put there, that we'll be able to find with our taxonomy, and that will make available for you. We need, of course, to ensure that we have protocols in place to guarantee that the data there is updated. You've seen the API. The API is one of the ways to keep the data updated, but of course there'll be other ways to do that. But so we have to ensure that, for instance, the standards that are there are updated, so that the new standards are there. And we also have to value and operate the data that is produced through the platform. So this is all part of the data strategy of the platform. Next slide, please. So to keep this platform sustainable in the future after the project, the platform and the e-learning tool, the governance, we need to have the governance structures and mechanisms in place. Well, this is what I have just described. We of course would need some technical capabilities to be in place in order to be able to manage the project from a technical point of view. Well, this is very basic in any IT management process: the operational readiness, the development and the implementation of the evolutions or corrections that are going to be needed, the hosting, the operation, the backup. Of course, we need a backup. You never know what's going to happen, so you have to have a backup. We also need management support. Well, this will be, the steering committee and the management team. Monitoring support, that'll be the monitoring team. But you see what we do here to develop this project. We need lots of other skills all around to keep this platform alive. If you just put the platform there and there's nobody around to support it, it may die very quickly. So we need to keep this engagement and facilitation support in place. We need to go reach out people to help them to put flesh on the bones so that they can stay committed and that the platform can grow up and prosper. And we of course would need communication support, which is pretty much what the e-learning tool does. Of course, all these things cannot be done for free efficiently, maybe not for a long period of time. So we would need funding. And we could be able to find, with the use of the platform, a business model to support long-term operations. I would make a suggestion on this business model. What I described up there has a cost, but it's not very expensive. It's a very good investment to have just a public funding from the EU. I don't know whom. It's a very small budget compared to all the investments that are made to support EU coordination in the field of security, to fund just this platform. Because of all the achievements, this platform and ecosystem really works like an operative system to what is in place and what is developed by the EU and all these wonderful networks. So I guess that funding should not be a problem compared to the value that this brings. So next slide, please. Well, that was my last slide. So thank you all for your attention.
Thank you, Trish. Thank you very much for explaining very much of where we are and the importance of the many aspects that are critical to sustainability and maintainability of the platform. So I think if the message from this yesterday morning came across loud and clear, the presentations that were given and Augustine with David were very clear. I think people should start seeing the importance and value of the platform and the e-learning tool in terms of making life easier and better for us all going forward. And I repeat, the value of the platform will be based on the information and data that's there, and that's the key to all this, making sure we have it amalgamated properly and put together. So I'm really grateful for that. Do we have a question for Patricia at this stage? Is there a question there for Patricia? We can do the poll now if it's there. Yes, we have got one. Okay. So we have a question, session 9. We see the following question. We have to see security standards in a new light, especially from a practitioner perspective. To what extent do you agree with this statement? And you have 5 options. So we allow you to give us some feedback, and we will then check out what the poll result was. But it's a nice question, and I think it's an important one. Let's see what comes. Okay, that should be one question. Let's close this poll now, and let's see what the feedback is. Catherine, can we get it now, please?
Wow.
This is very impressive.
Good.
We have to look at security standardization in a new light from a practitioner's point of view, and that's most encouraging. So that allows us to work in confidence more so in terms of what we do to the platform, also the better practice guide to try to make things work.